morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Corpus Christi. My name is Ren Aldrich. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm thrilled to be your worship associate this morning. Whether it's your first time here or you've been coming for years, or even if you're with us online, we unconditionally welcome you as your full, authentic self. We gather here today with intention to remember our values of interdependence, equity, transformation, pluralism, generosity, and justice, with love at the center. We often fall short of these ideals, but we continually grow as spiritual and moral beings. To that end, we recite a covenant each week, which is not a creed, but a promise we make to one another. We have several announcements today. First up, Humanist meeting will be right after the service in the Teal Room. Also after service, our second Path to UU, Path to Membership class will be in the Raspberry Room, I assume. That's directly after service. Our gaming group is canceled for today, and on Wednesday at 6 p.m. we'll have meditation group led by Kirk Newport. We have our new book club book, The Sun by Philip Meyer. It's available as an audiobook through the South Texas Library System Libby app. The meeting is on Friday, March 6th at 2 p.m. to discuss chapters 1 through 25. That sounds like a lot, but it's less than 150 pages. Quick read. If you're interested in leading the discussion on this book in the upcoming meetings, please contact Joy Wright. Joy, over there. We have the March for Equality for International Women's Day on March 8th, next Sunday, at 3 p.m. It starts at Cole Park North, and we will be marching to Oleander Point, where we'll have kind of a rally and some speakers. Hope to see y'all there. Coming up April 5th, we have a Potluck Sunday, Easter Sunday. And for any other announcements, please check your order of service. Thus endeth the announcements. It is our custom in this church to offer visitors and newcomers a chance to introduce themselves if they feel comfortable doing so. If it's your first time here or you just feel ready to say hello after coming for a while, we invite you to stand as you're able or raise your hand, and Tess will bring you the microphone so you can tell us your name and where you're from, and they can hear us online. Are there any visitors or newcomers who would like to introduce themselves this morning? On the way, on the way. Right behind you.
My name is Kathy Heltzer. I'm here from Duluth, Minnesota, where the weather's fantastic. I'm here with my spouse, Tina, and we're in this area for a month, and we're very happy to find a UU congregation here.
All right, welcome.
Good morning. My name is Mark Van-Hout. I just came from Manitowoc, Wisconsin, and I'm going to stay here for a while till May, and I go back. I'm a member from the Manitowoc UU, and I used to be a member of the UU in Austin.
All right, welcome. We're glad you're here. Anybody else who'd like to introduce themselves today? All right. Oh, we have one more? I missed it.
Hi, we were here last week, and we were here last year for a few weeks, but I just thought I'd say hi again. So I'm Gail, this is Dave, and we're from Madison, Wisconsin, and we're glad to be here. Thank you.
Welcome. All right. We're glad to have you all here today, and you're welcome to stay after the service and join us for some coffee and conversation, or the Path to UU, or the Humanist meeting. Our service will now begin. Please stand if you're willing and able to sing with our choir. Our opening words this morning were written by John Von Rue and Lynette Lowe. Welcome to this space, this sanctuary of peace, where we come not only to create our best selves, but to also do the work of creating a beloved community. We come together today as individuals, much like individual pieces of glass or pottery that are different shapes, sizes, and colors, all of which are broken, with imperfect, jagged edges, but always beautiful. While our pieces may not always fit neatly together, it is within this sanctuary, guided by our principles, that we gather together to create a beautiful mosaic. May the brokenness and beauty you find in one another create peace in this space and fill our hearts with love as we create worship together. I would like to invite Zeta up to light our chalice while I share these words by Pat Uribe Lichty. This chalice is a symbol of our faith. Like our faith, it is not magic, nor is it mysterious. We light it as a reminder of what we share as a community and of who each of us is called to be. When we feel lost in a chaotic world, may the light of our chalice show us our path. When we are afraid of the times we live in, may the light of our chalice give us courage. When we despair at the injustice and cruelty around us, may the light of our chalice recall us to a faithful hope. Our chalice is a symbol of our commitment to each other and to ourselves. We light it today as a gathered community that we may understand more completely and act more boldly and hope more fiercely. Please rise and body your spirit for the affirmation of our church covenant. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with all we hold sacred. You may be seated.
I have seen what man can do when the evil lives inside of you. Many are the weak and the strong are few, but with the water start anew. Won't you take me down to the levee? Take me down to the stream. Take me down to the water. We're gonna wash our souls clean. Take me down to the river. Take me down to the lake. Yes, we'll all go together. We're gonna do it for the good Lord's sake. I have tried to find my way to make it through to a better day. I have cried a mighty song, but in the morning everything was gone. So come on, water, sweet water, wash me down. Come on, water, sweet water, wash me down. I have tried so many times to put out the devil's fire, but every time I sit down to pray, the devil's charm pulls wash me away. So come on, water, sweet water, wash me down. Come on, water, sweet water, wash me down. Come on, water, sweet water, wash me down. Come on, water, sweet water, wash me down.
I would like to invite Tess Cherry to present the story for all ages.
Good morning. Okay, we're gonna have to do this every time. Come on, some energy here. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. It's all we need in the morning, right? I am Tess Cherry, your art religious exploration coordinator here at U2C3. And our story today is things can be true, two things can be true too. In a world that often seeks simple answers, two things can be true invites readers to embrace complexity, curiosity, and understanding. This book is a celebration of perspective, showing that life is full of ideas, feelings, and experiences that can exist side by side, even when they seem to contradict each other. Through engaging sayings and thoughtful visual examples, it encourages critical thinking, empathy, and open-mindedness. My sanity is not your vanity. Taking care of your mental health is essential, even if others see it as selfish. Prioritizing inner peace may clash with someone else's desire for external validation. You see what you want to see. People often interpret things based on their bias or desires. Selective perception can lead two people to see the same situation differently. I was blind, and now I see. You may realize a mistake you made in the past and see things clearly now. Gaining insight into something hidden can change your understanding of a situation. Your stuff stink too. No one is perfect. Everyone has flaws or shortcomings. Judging others can be hypocritical, as we all have our issues. The end. I would like to invite the young and young at heart to join us in our
After our meditation reading and time of silence, when the music begins, all who would like to are invited to come to the chalice table and light a candle representing a joy or sorrow you may be holding in your heart today. If you're with us online, you're welcome to share your joys and sorrows by using the chat feature. Our meditation words this morning are from Margaret A. Keep. The journeys of our lives are never fully charted. There come to each of us deserts to cross, barren stretches where the green edge on the horizon may be our destination, or an oasis on our way, or a mirage that beckons only to leave us lost. When fear grips the heart or despair bows the head, may we bend as heart and head, lead us down to touch the ground beneath our feet. May we scoop some sand into our hands and receive what the sand would teach us. It holds the warmth of the sun when the sun has left our sight, as it holds the cool of the night when the stars have faded. Hidden among its grains are tiny seeds at rest and waiting, dormant yet undefeated. Desert flowers, they endure, moistened by our tears and by the rains which come to end even the longest drought. They send down roots and they bloom. May we believe in those seeds and in the seeds within us. May we remember in our dry seasons that we too are desert flowers. Amen. Our time of silence will now begin. Today, Lauren Cantatore-Causey will read us a message that was originally written by Karishma Neva Gottfried, whose pronouns are they, she. Lauren is a lifelong UU and current president of U2C3. Karishma, the original author of this message, was raised on fair trade coffee and love in the UU Fellowship of Corvallis, Oregon. They were an active youth leader regionally and nationally, served the Sanctuary Boston as campus ministry organizer, and are currently a student at Union Theological Seminary. Please welcome Lauren to read us this message.
Good morning. So I'm going to have Nick put up a little diagram. So who was James Luther Adams? If you've been in Unitarian Universalism for a very long time, you've probably heard that name. James Luther Adams was a Unitarian parish minister, social activist, journal editor, distinguished scholar, translator, and editor of major German theologians. He was a prolific author and a divinity school professor for more than 40 years. He was the most influential theologian among American Unitarian Universalists of the 20th century. He wrote an essay. The essay was called Guiding Principles for a Free Faith, and that was published in 1976. So what are the 5 smooth stones? The first 5 smooth stones, we affirm that revelation is continuous. More truth is always unfolding, and we are in constant dialogue with whatever is calling you, us. In the words of Adams, meaning has not been finally captured. Nothing is complete, and thus nothing is exempt from criticism. Number 2, in liberal religious community, we choose to be in relationship freely and with consent, never with coercion. We don't threaten one another with punishment. Number 3, we believe that we have a moral obligation to work towards a just and loving community. We choose to put aside selfishness or individualism and focus on how we are in relationship with one another. James Luther Adams says, "It is this which makes the role of the prophet central and indispensable in liberalism." Number 4, we believe that goodness must be embodied through us. James Luther Adams says, "We deny the immaculate conception of virtue and affirm the necessity of social incarnation. Good things come about not through divine intervention, but through the work of human hands." And number 5, liberal religious communities are storehouses and witnesses for ultimate optimism. We always have cause to hope. So I was perusing a bunch of sermons on UU Worship Web. That is a resource that anyone can look into. There are stories, prayers, openings, music, and sermons. And I found this one really interesting. So this is from the words of Karishma Gottfried. In the Bible, there's a pretty well-known story about David and Goliath. Goliath, a huge warrior from the side of the Philistines, challenged someone from the side of the Israelites to battle. David was chosen, and he knew that even with all the armor in the world, he would not be able to win against Goliath by strength alone. So he took his staff and picked up 5 smooth stones and put them in his bag along with the sling. As he approached Goliath, David took the stones and slung them at Goliath, striking him on the forehead and knocking him over. Many people have heard that story. As Unitarian Universalists, we rely heavily on the teachings of our parent traditions, Judaism and Christianity, interpreting their stories through an open-minded perspective and seeking universal meaning in those ancient texts. In the centuries in which our faith has expanded outside the boundaries of the traditional Judeo-Christianity, we have also expanded what we draw our inspiration from. Universalism is now sometimes interpreted to mean that we draw universal meaning from all religious traditions. As Reverend Leslie Takahashi says, they teach us to believe in the teachings of Jesus or Buddha, to believe in the human potential or a power beyond a single will. But life embraces multiple truths and speaks of both, of and. We draw many of our rituals from paganism, focusing on how to embody our faith, live fully as our best selves, and respect the earth and her people. Buddhism teaches us to be mindful, disciplined, and present in the moment, focusing on our actions and intentions to make the world better. Feminist and liberation theologies from various religious traditions remind us that we are prophetic faith. We are not complacent in the face of change, but rather pushing forward beyond our comfort to challenge the status quo and our role in oppression. What about Unitarian Universalism? What did we believe? A connection that we miss a lot of the time when we draw from other religions is how those truths connect to our truths. So how can the story of David and Goliath, a story from one of our many sacred texts, be interpreted in Unitarian Universalism? James Luther Adams, a Unitarian minister and 20th century theologian, used the story of David and Goliath and the 5 smooth stones that David carried to articulate the 5 smooth stones of the liberal religious tradition. The beliefs about what it means to practice a faith in a responsible, progressive way. Because although as far as religion goes, we are for sure in the minority, we can still have a big impact on the world. But UUism isn't the only liberal religion, and many beliefs that we hold are held by many. So where does our theology lie? And at what can we point to when asked not only what we believe, but what is the bedrock of our faith? When you are asked what you believe, do you have your elevator story ready? As the title of this sermon suggests, there are some rocks that we can base our faith on. The 5 jagged rocks are an adaptation of James Luther Adams' smooth stones. They were created by the Reverends Nancy Bowen and Mike Morin, who wanted something that they could build on, the 7 principles, but focus on more of a declaration of our faith. And instead of the smooth stones created by Adams, they chose to recognize a faith that is dangerous and not always smooth going, according to the Reverend Gretchen Haley. So, our stones are jagged because we aren't perfect, theologically or otherwise. We're very rough around the edges, but that does not make us less valid. The first of the 5 jagged rocks, although there isn't necessarily a specific order, is the belief that there is a unity that makes us one. Simply put, we believe that everything is connected. This rock gives us freedom to express our theology. Some might call that connection God, or the spirit of life, or the mystery of the universe. As our fourth principle guides us to a free and responsible search for truth and meaning, our third reminds us that all of our faith discoveries are aided by acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth. The second jagged rocks is all souls are sacred and worthy. This is reflective of our first principle, the affirmation of the inherent worth and dignity of every person, but it focuses more on each something greater than simply I'm going to repeat this. It focuses more on each, something greater than simplistic, intrinsic, ethical goodness. You may have heard Thomas Starr King's well-known quip, Universalists believe God is too good to damn people, and Unitarians believe they are too good to be damned. This rock signals that our sacredness and worth are tied to something greater than each individual. We don't focus on whether someone is damned or divine, because it doesn't matter where they're going. It matters that they are here. When we talk about all souls being sacred and worthy, it is a truly radical statement. When we proclaim that people are sacred just for being alive, when we don't focus on the color of their skin or their immigration status, don't think about who they love or who they are or how they move, just state that they are sacred and worthy. We are living into our theology as Unitarian Universalists. The third jagged rock, courageous love transforms the world. That's deeper and wider than just love. When the Beatles say, all you need is love, they're talking about courageous love. UUs do their very best to side with love, and that's what makes all the difference. Even though we have fallen short many, many times, we Unitarian Universalists keep trying. We get up again and again on the side of love. We are a justice-seeking faith, always reaching for that beloved community. How do we create beloved community? With love, with courageous love. Not love for oppression or hatred, because as much as we have to recognize that all souls are sacred and worthy, it's hard to think about that when they refuse to recognize the sacred and worthiness of my soul or yours. It's much more important to focus on loving each other and loving the promise of our shared liberation, because that is what's going to transform the world. The fourth rock is the knowledge that the truth continues to be revealed. Our revelation is not sealed. What we believe as a faith community has changed throughout history and will continue to change. Ours is one of the most transformative faiths because instead of being defined by one set creed, we are defined by how we choose to be in covenant with each other. And that covenant can change and will change and has changed over time. I like to think of us as covenant-making, covenant-breaking, and covenant-remaking faith, because we are not perfect, but we keep trying to be in relationship. And that, our principles, which this was written obviously before our shared values were adopted, our principles are one of the most formative parts of Unitarian Universalism, and they were adopted in 1960. In fact, the seventh principle about the interdependent web of existence was only adopted in 1985, which isn't that long ago. And science, which is one of our 6 sources, teaches us that we always have more to learn about life, the universe, and ourselves. As a species, we are always discovering always adjusting our hypotheses and changing our realities. That is true for what we know of ourselves and the world. So why should it not be true about our faith? Freedom and tolerance have been central to our tradition, at least since the Reformation. But we can wonder if the many famous Unitarians and Universalists we claim as our ancestors, if they would claim us too. If they made it through the service, they'd certainly be shocked to learn at coffee hour that a solid proportion of the congregants here don't even believe in God. But so is the journey of our faith, ever changing, ever growing. As Universalist Edwin Markham once wrote, he drew a circle to shut me out, heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I had the wit to win. We drew a circle and took him in. As the Unitarian and Universalist merger showed us, our faith and its beliefs are appealing to many. And there was a lot of conflict about that merger. We needed to find common ground between both associations, and it took quite a while to do that, but we did it. If we can keep growing our circle, catching those at the margins and holding them close, and revealing the truth as we discover it, our love and our faith can only get stronger. Salvation in this life. This comes from our Universalist roots and might be the most radical, jagged rock of them all. While most other faiths believe in an afterlife, as Unitarian Universalists as a whole, we understand that no one belief is guaranteed to be true. I actually had a very interesting conversation with someone yesterday and told him that as by and large we don't believe in hell, and he didn't understand how that could be. And I said, hell is the horrible things that are going on in our work. We are saved. We are saved through the good work that we do. Each person can still have their own truth. But what's more important to us than what happens after we die is how we live. Maybe we go to heaven, or are reborn, or cease to exist. Maybe our fate is predetermined, or maybe our actions add up to determine whether we make it into the good place. But what can we do now? What can we do to make the world a better place? Not because of some future reward, but because our lives now depend on it. Because our liberation is tied up with one another's. Because we are all connected. And when one of us is in pain, we are all in pain. Because none of us is free until all of us is free. There is no salvation for this life, in this life, unless it is for all of us. We have to gather that light together. That is the promise of beloved community. In 1790, when the Universalist Convention in Philadelphia adopted an anti-slavery resolution that was proposed by Benjamin Rush, who was one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, they were fighting for salvation in this life. When American Unitarians traveled to Europe and risked their lives to help Jews and other refugees escape the Nazis, they were fighting for salvation in this life. When Reverend James Reeb and Viola Liuzzu were killed in Selma after traveling their movement, they were fighting for salvation in this life. And today, as Unitarian Universalist congregations around the country vote to provide sanctuary for undocumented immigrants, as UUs travel to the southern border to protest and bear witness, and in Minneapolis, as we know, we are doing today, bearing witness. As we proclaim that no one can be illegal on stolen land, we are fighting for salvation in this life. The Reverend Sophia Betancourt, who is our Unitarian Universalist Association president, reminds us we are in control of what we do with our daily living. If we, each of us, represent a missing remnant of the fabric of our collective future, then together we can lean into the possibility that we have yet to fully experience in human history, a collective wholeness, an unassailable good. So immerse yourself unapologetically in what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist in these days, then go out into the world and live knowing that your faith matters. There have been many, many times in our history, and today, where we have not done the right thing, where we have forgotten what about we were working for. But the Unitarian minister, Theodore Parker, said it best when he said, "Look at the facts of the world. You see a continual and progressive triumph of the right. I do not pretend to understand the moral universe. The arc is a long one, but my eye reaches but little ways. I cannot calculate the curve and complete the figure by the experience of sight. I can divine it by conscience. From what I see, I am sure it bends towards justice." And it bends that way because there are people who are bending it towards justice, because that's our duty. It's our duty to help heal the world and to fight for salvation in this life. We are a community of thinkers and seekers. We are heretics, the word coming from the Greek, to choose. We have chosen how we want to be in relationship with each other, what we draw our wisdom from, and what we believe through our 7 principles, our 6 sources, and now our 5 jagged rocks. We are a radical, liberal, and theologically rich faith. And like David with his smooth stones, bending his sling towards Goliath, we will use our jagged rocks to bend the arc of the universe towards justice.
Thank you, Lauren. Now is the time we participate in the financial care of our church community by giving and receiving the offering. If you're contributing to your pledge today, please be sure to write pledge on your check or cash envelope. When the music begins, the ushers will offer you a basket for your offering. Alternatively, you can use the QR code on screen to give electronically. Your offering, no matter how you make it, will be gratefully received. Please remain seated after the music is over for the closing of our service.
Someday you'll grow up, learn to lie.
Just like your daddy did when he told you no one ever really dies.
Oh,
Well, I'm there when you realize those with the nose in the air will never look you in the eye. And you will go toe to toe like David and Goliath. Who will be Goliath? You will roll the stone. I don't know, said the man with all of the answers. If he don't have the answer, how will I ever know?
you an old man with nothing to do but wait. He invited himself, and he still showed up late. When it came to the end of the night, he would always overstay. But I never had a reason to complain. Till the day stopped at my end, I missed his company.
You will go toe to toe like David and Goliath. They will be Goliath. You will throw the stone. I don't know, said the man with all of the answers. He don't know the answer. How will I ever know?
Love holds you. Love bears witness to all your inherent dignity and worthiness. It witnesses how you try, succeed, and fail, and it does not flinch. Love will not let go. Love holds all of you. By Carrie Holly Hurt. Until next time, friends, stay safe and love one another.
Someday I'll find you, stop on by. You'll say how I've been, I'll say I've been fine. We'll both know that that's a lie. Turns out what I
Figured out I was wrong and you were right. You will go toe to toe like David and Goliath. They will be Goliath.